Hey everyone, it's Casey Nicole, and today we're going to go through a fun, flowy practice, a mini flow practice, where we're going to focus a lot on twists, core stabilization, and balancing. So we may play on our feet, we're going to play on our hands, or at least have them as options for you to explore. As always, please just listen to your body and do what feels best for you. I want for this to be a fun way for you to explore in your practice and to be able to see that there's always room for growth. I would recommend having 2 blocks for practice. Other than that, just you and your mat. Let's go ahead and get started in a child's pose. So as you come onto your hands and knees, take the knees wide or together, whatever you prefer. Connect the big toes and just let the hips sink in the direction of the heels and allow the spine to melt forward and down. Arms drop heavy and head drops heavy. Now, if this position does not feel comfortable for you, you can always come out of it and come back in when you're ready, or take any other position that feels better for you. I'm going to keep my head lifted in this position just for the sake of you hearing me more clearly, but feel free here to just use this as an opportunity to drop in fully and completely into your practice. Let your body disengage, let your breath melt in, let all of your thoughts and concerns and attachments just slowly start to fade out of focus as you find more presence, more connection to the now. To help us establish that connection, we're going to drop a little bit more into our breath. So go ahead and exhale all of your breath out. And then through the nose, take a slow and intentional breath in. Expand the torso as much as you can, filling up each compartment as you open, lifting, hold the breath at the very top. And with a nice cleansing sigh, just open up your mouth and exhale all the breath out. Another one just like that. Slow inhale, filling up section by section, expanding, lifting, opening, holding at the top of the breath. Feel that brief retention. And then open up the mouth and release it out. Now one more, keeping the breath through the nose. Slow inhale. And rather than holding the breath for a really long time, keep it just as smooth and as elongated as the inhale as you exhale right back out through the nose, melting the breath from the top back down to the bottom. And then maintain this nice fluid breath in and out of the nose, letting it find more of its natural rhythm and pace now. We're going to come into an Ujjayi breath. Lightly constrict the airways. Let yourself feel more regulated in your breath, more calm, more centered. One more here in this position. We're going to keep things moving today, so please come back to this position or any other resting position at any point, whether you need to or whether you want to. It doesn't matter. Just listen to your body. From your child's pose, begin to extend your arms out in front of you, lifting your elbows up away from the ground. Come up onto the fingertips and then gently press your fingertips down into the ground and energetically imagine that you're pulling the ground towards your knees, feeling the activation lift all the way up into your shoulders. Let's take another breath here. Now you can stay on your fingertips or drop your palms back down, your choice, but find length into your spine on an inhale. And then exhale, walk your hands over to the right side. You can walk over as much as you'd like, keeping your hips sinking towards the heels. Maybe your left hand rests next to the right hand. Maybe it rests on top or even crosses over. Give yourself another breath. Feel the sensation of opening up that left side body. And then inhale, walk yourself back through to center. Make sure the spine is nice and long here. And then exhale, walk it over to the left side. Same thing. Hands can rest side by side, maybe stack right hand on top, or cross it over. Feel the space between the ribs. One more breath here. Slowly walk yourself back to center. Now from here, with the head dropped, Go ahead and tuck your chin to your chest and bring the top of your head to the ground. Hands behind your back, you can either hold on to your heels or you can interlace your fingers behind your back. If you're on the top of the head, not the forehead, then maybe lift the hips, roll onto the crown of your head, and feel the arms pull overhead if you have that variation. Give yourself one more breath. And then if your hips have lifted, melt them back down, lengthen the spine, reach the arms forward, and come into a tabletop position. Stacking onto all fours. Get the shoulders over the wrists and the hips to stack right above the knees. Neutralizing the spine here, we're going to thread the needle. So let's inhale the right arm up towards the ceiling. Now, as you exhale, you're going to thread it underneath the left arm. But as you do, I want you to reach as far over to that left side as you can before dropping the shoulder to the ground. So often we just come through and plop our shoulder to the ground. We want to make it a twist. So keep reaching, twisting until the shoulder lands. And then the head can scoot slightly forward and rest down so there's no added compression into the neck. Left hand, keep it here for just a moment. As you press to the floor, just open up your ribs and chest. Option to stay here. Maybe reach your left hand high. If you'd like to take a bind, we will be incorporating more of these movements in the practice. With the top arm, you can flip the palm back and drop it around into your lower back, or even weave the hand into that inner right thigh if it's available. Option to stay here. Or if you want a little added balancing today, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee off the ground so the hips tent up a little bit, and then maybe work on trying to float your left leg towards the ceiling. Another breath. The fun thing about this is if you fall, usually you just roll onto your back like a little turtle. If the leg is lifted, let's bring it back down. Mindful movement. If the arm is to your lower back, let's replant the palm down right in front of the face. Lean in towards it, press to the hand, come all the way up, reach the right arm towards the ceiling, opening up the chest, and then take the hand back down, tabletop position, and we'll repeat the other side. Inhale, left arm reaches to the left and up, open up. Now, as you exhale, same thing. We're going to weave it underneath the right arm, but keep reaching away, reaching, twisting until the left shoulder drops down. And then scoot your head slightly forward, create a little more space for the neck as it rests down. Right hand stays in front of you as you press to the floor, open up the ribs and chest. Option to stay. Maybe right arm reaches up. Maybe flip the palm back, creating internal rotation on the shoulder and dropping arm into your lower back. Or once again, if available, weave into the inner thigh. Stay here. Maybe tuck your right toes, lift your right knee off the ground, stabilize. Maybe work on floating the right leg up. Deepen your breath. If the leg is lifted, let's slowly bring it back down. If the right arm is to your lower back, release, right hand down to the ground. Press to the hand, inhale, come all the way up, left hand towards the ceiling. And then tabletop position, let's bring it back down. We're going to go through some basic cat-cow movements here. So from all fours, take a deep breath in. And exhale, chin to your chest, tail tucks, round your back, lift your belly button towards the spine. Inhale, drop the belly down, scoop the ribs forward, feel the heart lifting, sit bones lifting. Exhale, rounding, press to the hands, curl your spine. Inhale, open back up, drop the belly like a hammock. And just go ahead and move on your own from one to the next for just a couple more breaths and add in any other movements that help you to feel more expressive or to feel into those tighter spaces, drawing more body awareness. And then as you come back to a neutral spine, we're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, come into your first downward dog of this practice. And you can start to pedal out your legs a little bit, find length into your spine. Couple more breaths. Really try to press the hips up and back. And if you're having trouble with being able to find more space into your spine, or if you feel a lot of pressure on your shoulders, bend your knees a lot, pull your hips back towards the back of the mat, and then work on lifting the hips as much as you're comfortable without curling the spine. Let's take one more breath here. Come high up onto the toes. And then as you exhale, look forward towards your hands and then walk your way to the top of the mat. Landing in a standing forward bend. Separate your feet about the width of the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold. As you fold, we're going to hold here a few breaths. You can either hang out, you can sway side to side, you can grab opposite elbows, or you can just hug yourself in. Any variation is fine. Equal weight between your heels and your toes. Feel that nice opening through the backs of the legs. If you are in motion, bring yourself back to center, release your arms. Inhale, lengthen the spine halfway. Exhale, forward fold. With a flat back, inhale, come all the way up. Reach your arms high over the head. And then take your hands, bring them down together, heart center. All right. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips, drape down. Feel free to bend the knees generously. Now, as you lengthen your spine, inhale, let's separate the feet about the width of the mat. Let the toes turn out away from one another. And you can either drop elbows to your knees, sinking the hips into a high squat, or lower the hips as close to the ground as you can. Lifting the spine, maybe hands to heart center. You also have the option of taking a block or two and just bringing them underneath your hips for added support. Your choice. Give yourself a few breaths. We will be here for a little while. If you need to come in and out, please do so. I'm going to face you so it's a little bit easier to see what I've got going on here. So stay as you are, or if you're in a low squat, we are going to work towards some binds. Maybe slide your right arm to the inside of the right leg, trying to get the knee as high up on that arm towards the shoulder as you can. Right fingertips then anchor out and down to the ground. Holding that there, we're going to use that as leverage. Press into the leg. Open up the ribs and chest towards the ceiling. Left hand reaches up nice and high. Now, once again, you can stay here. If you want a half bind, top hand flips back, feeling all the way up into the shoulder. Then drop it into your lower back. This is a half bind. Once again, we'll be practicing this a lot today. You can stay here, or if you want a full bind, you're going to keep the arm in front of the leg, but maybe lift the hand and flip the palm back so the thumb is pointing down. If able, you can bend the elbow, weave it around the back of the ankle, and maybe the hands connect behind you. If they don't, it's okay. You can also use a strap if you want to create that binding effect. Open up the ribs and chest. Give yourself another breath. If you are bound, let's go ahead and open up the arms. And then take your hands back together at heart center before we do the other side. Okay, so once again, if you need to come out, come back in, please listen to your body. When you're ready, left arm slides to the inner left leg. Get it high up onto the shoulder or is anywhere along the arm. Left arm reaches out and down, anchor it. Press that arm into the leg as you open up ribs and chest. Right arm reaches up. Same options, half bind, flip the top palm back, drop it into your lower spine. Bottom hand can stay, or flip the palm back, weave it around, and maybe the hands connect behind you. Wherever you are, give yourself another breath. If you're bound, open up the arms, hands together at heart center as the chest lifts. Let's take the hands forward, walk them forward a little bit, lean in, lift the hips up, walk the feet back towards one another. Shake out your legs a little bit here. We should be standing somewhere near the front of the mat. So when you're ready, inhale, lengthen the spine. We're going to take a big step back with the left foot. So we're in this long, lungy position. Front knee over the ankle. Once you have that alignment, drop the back knee, release the toes. We're going to start first by taking the hands to the inside of that foot, maybe walking it out an inch or so, not very much. And you can stay on your hands, you can walk them forward, you can even drop down onto a block or forearms down onto the ground. If you want even more, Retuck the back toes, lift the knee, staying nice and low. You can even incorporate a little bit of movement here, adding a little more fluid into the joints. Give yourself another breath. Feel into your edge. If the back knee is up, let's go ahead and drop it back down. Slowly come back up onto the hands and walk your foot back to center so your hands are to either side. From here, we're going to walk the hands up onto that front knee. Once you're here, feel the tail reach down. So we're really opening up through the front of that left hip. Arms reach up, deep breath in. And then exhale, take your hands together at your heart center. We're going to go for a twist, but I'm going to give you some options. As you twist, exhale, you can either just hold the outer knee with your left hand and open up your right arm, or keep your prayer twist and try to hook your left elbow to the outside of the knee. Keep it to the outside as you press through the palms and just rotate your ribs and chest to the right side. Now, wherever you are, if you are in prayer twist, I'll give you options to go deeper. Stay here or keep the elbow to the outer thigh. Maybe open up the arms. If your bottom hand doesn't reach the floor, you can also take a block underneath it and press into the block instead. Give yourself a few more breaths. Option to stay here or flip the top palm, drop it into your lower back. Maybe work on bringing your bottom hand underneath that thigh. Hands might connect. Maybe they don't. Try not to force, but just feel what's available. One more breath. If you're bound, open up the arms and then slowly take your hands down to the ground. Frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee off the ground and step forward to the front. We're going to do the other side here. So let's lengthen the spine. Deep breath in. Exhale, big step back with your right foot. Front knee over the ankle. Drop your back knee down to the ground. Release your toes. Let's take hands to the inside of the foot. Walk it out an inch or so. Stay on your hands. Walk them forward or lower one or both forearms down onto a block or to the floor. Once again, if you want more intensity, retuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and feel free to add some movement. Play in it a little bit here. If the back knee is up, let's go ahead and drop it back down. Release the toes, come back up onto your hands. Bring the foot back to center, hands to either side. Walk your hands up onto the front thigh. And as the hips pull back a little bit, tail reaches down as you sink in. Arms reach over your head. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to twist to the left. Right hand can catch the knee, opening here, or prayer twist, hook the elbow to the outside of the knee. You can stay in your prayer twist or open up your arms. Bottom hand can connect to a block or to the floor. With your top arm, stay or flip the palm back. Drop it into lower back for a half bind. If you're feeling open and ready for full bind, bottom arm weaves underneath, catching hands. Don't feel like you have to take it here. It's just an option. Open up the arms. Take your hands to the ground, frame your front foot, tuck your back toes, lift the knee, and step forward to the front. Halfway lift, take a deep breath in, and exhale, fold. Inhale, come up to standing, reach up nice and tall, open up the chest at the top, and then connect your hands, bring them together at heart center. Let's go ahead and separate the feet hips width apart. We're going to take a chair pose, but we're going to take a separated feet chair pose. A little bit different. We'll incorporate a little bit more balancing and stabilizing. Hands together at heart center. Take a bend into the knees and sit your hips back and down into your chair. Now from here, feel your tail reach down, front hip points lift up, and then pull your shins back. Sit back into it. Feel weight shift into your right leg. Come up onto your left toes. Stay here or try to hover your left foot right above the ground. Keep sinking in through your hips. Take another breath. Set the right foot down, transfer weight into your left side, come up onto your right toes. Maybe hover your right foot. Breath. Set the right foot down, chair pose, arms reach up, breath in. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. You're going to take a big step back with your left foot. As you do, find balance. Inhale, come all the way up, crescent lunge. Now we're going to take the same options that we took when we were in the low lunge where the back knee was down, but now we're doing a little bit more balance and stability with the back knee up. On your exhale, take your hands to your heart, twist to the right, either left hand to outer knee, opening here, or come into your full prayer twist. Breath, stay here, or open up the arms. Maybe take a half bind with the top arm, maybe a full bind with the bottom arm. No matter what variation you're in, look down at the floor, come up onto your back toes, maybe step them in a little bit, and then step your back foot forward to meet the right. Stay here, or come up onto your right toes and slowly press your left leg. Try to stand it up, spine up, and then maybe extend out through your right leg. Bring it back down if you're up. From here, big step back with your left foot. Inhale, release your bind, come all the way up, crescent lunge. And exhale, warrior two, open up the hips. Gazing over your front hand, let's straighten out the front leg, give it a little break. Reach forward. Right hand can come down, thigh, shin, ankle, block, or to the floor. Open up your ribs and chest. Left hand reaches high. Give yourself a couple breaths here. Looking down, bend your front knee, hands to the mat. Pivot on your back toes, step forward to the front. We're going to do that other side. When you're ready, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, big step back, right foot. Take a moment, feel your balance. When you're ready, inhale, come all the way up, crescent lunge. Take your hands, bring them together at heart center, twist to the left. Same options as we've been doing. And you can do these same transitions from any of these options. Stay here, maybe open up the arms, maybe take your binds. If you're bound, you can stay here or you can open up at any point. Look down, step your back foot forward. Once again, you can do this even from any variation. Weight into your right foot. I'm going to show you from a more modified variation. Weight into your right foot. Press through it as you come up. Stay or work on extending out through the leg. They are the same options, just to different degrees. If you're up, come all the way back down and then step back with your right foot. Find the balance. Inhale, crescent lunge, come all the way up. Exhale, warrior two, open. Let's straighten out that front leg, preparing for triangle pose. Reaching forward, left hand down. Your variation, right arm reaches high. Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle. Give yourself a few breaths. Nice and active in your legs. And then let's go ahead and look down, bend the front knee, hands come down, pivot. This time, step back, drop the knees down to the ground, tabletop position. We're going to take the hands. Let's walk them about halfway closer to the knees. Spin the fingers back so they're pointing in the direction of the knees or as close to that as you can. Maybe lean a little bit of weight back. Bring it forward. Squeeze through the fingertips as you do this. So it's not just a passive stretch. It's much more active. Bring it forward. Spin the fingers back around. This time, let's start with the right hand. Let's flip your right palm so it's facing up, fingers back, resting it down on the ground. And then try to squeeze your hand into a fist. And then open it back up. Press your fingers into the ground. Squeeze into a fist. And then open up the fingers, press the tips of the fingers into the ground. Release, shake out that right hand, and then we'll do the other side. Plant the right hand. This time, flip the left palm up. Set the top of the hand down to the ground wherever you can. Stay here. Maybe create a fist. And then open up the fingers, fingertips press into the ground. Create a fist. And then open up, press fingers into the ground. And as you come up, shake it out and release. Alrighty, we will be working options for an arm balance on this next one. It's just a quick option. It's definitely not required. Please listen to your body. When you're ready, let's come up into downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. Open up the hip, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten the legs, square the hips, and exhale, take a big step forward between your hands. Set up, feel your balance. When you're ready, inhale up, crescent lunge. Take your hands to heart center and twist to the right. Your variation. Now I'm going to turn just so you can see. But if you are in prayer twist, maybe set your hands down to the ground, fingers point away from your hips, right hip to your right elbow, keep your leg attached to your front elbow, and then lean into the hands. Maybe come into this side crow variation, also known as Vinyasas 1. If you're in it, slowly bring it back down, coming back into that crescent twist. Then inhale, crescent lunge, all the way up. Exhale, warrior 2, open. Straighten the front leg, reach forward, right hand down, left hand high. Take a breath. Exhale, hands to the mat as you bend your front knee. Take your front foot, sweep it all the way back and up, three-legged dog. Come forward into a plank position. You can always set the right toes down. You can always drop your knees. Take another breath. And then exhale, come all the way down to the ground. Untuck your toes, feet press into the floor. Inhale, lift up to your chest, whatever variation feels good. And then downward dog. Exhale, send the hips up and back. Inhale, left leg up. Open up the hip, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten out the legs, square the hips. Exhale, big step forward to the front. Find your balance, crescent lunge. Inhale up. And then exhale, twist to the left. Your variation. If you're in prayer twist and you want to play, hands down, fingers point away. Drop your back hip to that left elbow. Lean in and maybe catch some balance. Bring it back down. Find your way into that prayer twist or your twisted variation. Inhale, crescent. And exhale, warrior 2. Let's inhale, straighten the front leg, reach forward. Exhale, triangle pose. Give yourself a breath. Exhale, bend the front knee, hands down. Take your front foot, sweep it all the way back and up. Slowly come forward, three-legged plank or any variation. Take a breath in, strong core. Exhale all the way to the ground. Untuck your toes, inhale, lift up to your chest. And exhale, child's pose. Send the hips all the way back. Remember, you can also take any other resting position. Now we're going to be here about a minute or so, just resting. If you would prefer to use this time to play, work on that side crow from a different position, or any other arm balance or any other yoga posture, now's your time. If rest is what's calling you, stay in your rest. This is where I will be. Feel free to hit pause or just enjoy this time for practice. Wherever you are, deepen your breath. Just about 5 more breaths here. Now, when you're ready, let's come forward, tabletop. Sweep the legs around. We're going to come down onto our backs. Hug the knees into the chest. Sway yourself left and right. And then knees bent, feet to the floor. Let's cross right ankle over the top of that left thigh. Now you can either just press your right thigh away or lift your left foot off the ground and weave your hands through. You can catch your left leg anywhere you'd like, whether it be the thigh or the shin, but keep your hips down as you gently pull in. Give yourself just about 3 or 4 breaths. We won't spend a whole lot of time here, keeping things moving, just making sure that we're touching into these spaces. Now we're going to keep the legs in this figure 4 position, but go ahead and release your left foot back down to the ground, arms down to your sides, and then press into the left foot. Try to lift your hips away from the ground as much as you can. If that is just not happening, just set your right foot down and then lift up into a regular bridge position. Perfectly fine. Wherever you are, hips up, maybe tuck the shoulders. You could even interlace your fingers and use the upper body to help lift. One more breath. And then slowly bring the hips down, release the arms, take the arms out from the shoulders. Now, from here, we're going to take this top leg. Actually, we're going to keep the top leg where it is. Take the bottom foot. Let's walk it over to the left. And as you do, keep walking it over until you have enough space for your legs to just start melting in towards the ground. But if it does feel too uncomfortable to have the top foot on top, just simply bring it back down to the ground. Okay, it's a nice option, but sometimes it can be a little intense. So listen, listen to your body. Give yourself a couple more breaths here. And then if the foot is on top, go ahead and slide it down to the ground. Swivel your knees to center and feel free to shake out your legs however it feels good here before we do the other side. Bend the knees, walk the feet in, and then let's cross left ankle over the right thigh, either just pressing the thigh away or lift your right foot off the ground. Hands weave through to catch your right leg. Hips stay heavy, shoulders stay fairly relaxed as you draw in. You're just trying not to exude too much effort or force, but just feel into those edges. Give yourself about 3 or 4 breaths here. And then gently release, but keep your legs in this figure 4 shape. As they come back down, arms to your sides, reaching in the direction of the front of your mat. Press into your right foot and lift your hips. Once again, if you want to take the left foot down, just take it into a regular bridge. Perfectly fine. Maybe interlace your fingers, maybe rock up onto your shoulders, lifting the hips. Couple more breaths. And then bring it all the way back down. Arms out to a T. Left ankle is crossed on top. You're going to walk your right foot over to the right side until there's enough space to lower your legs down to the ground with that left foot on top. Once again, if it's too intense, left foot can just rest on the ground right beside it. Hopefully this feels nice in your hips and your lower back. Couple more breaths. And then set the left foot back down to the ground if it's on top still. Knees back to center, and then shake out your legs. We're going to take a mini Shavasana today because once again, we're keeping the practice kind of quick and condensed. So if at any point you want to take a longer Shavasana or you want to add other things in, now's a great time to hit pause and resume when you're ready. Otherwise, let's take the arms and the legs out. Maybe take blocks underneath the backs of the knees if you'd like a little added support. It feels nice on the lower back for me personally, but do what feels right for you. Open up across the chest, let the eyes fall into the sockets, and exhale, let all of your breath out. Through the nose, an intentional breath in. Expand from the belly, through the rib cage, and all the way up into your chest, shoulders, and upper back. Hold the breath at the very top. And then let's just open up the mouth and let everything go. Allow yourself to settle into more stillness, more calm, more relaxation. And for the next minute or so, we're going to just be here, allowing ourselves to release and enjoy. Start to slowly deepen your breath and let movements come back into your fingers and your toes. Working up the limbs, rocking through your head. Full body stretch, arms over your head, reach down through the feet and your toes. And then hug your knees into your chest. Sway yourself from side to side. And then roll yourself to either side using that top hand to gently press yourself back up into a seated position of your choosing. Spine lifts, hands together at your heart. Exhale, just let all of your breath go and then melt it. Find a nice, easy, rhythmic breath. Thank your bodies for all that they do for you. And thank you for allowing me to guide you through practice today. Open up your eyes whenever you're ready. So I wanted to do something fun that was going to help explore the depths of different postures, trying new things, or maybe just being able to really get into that solid practice. I would love to hear your thoughts on the practice, your feedback, and I'm always looking forward to practicing with y'all next time. Thank you so much.